Coming up, officials are asking for help to keep the Konza Prairie open to the public.
Plus, LGBT members are looking for support against discrimination in Manhattan.
We're optimistic at this point that we'll have a favorable income so that there will be equality for all groups that are in need and deserving of those.
And next, some Kansans may be happy to hear that the annual clock confusion may end once and for all.
This is KKSU-LD, covering Manhattan, Riley County, and the Flint Hills, broadcasting in high definition from Kansas State University. You're watching Channel 8 News.
Welcome to Channel 8 News. On this first Spring Tuesday, we come to you with breaking news this afternoon. A 1st Infantry soldier from Fort Riley who was found dead in his car last weekend has been identified. Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. I'm Brennan Mintz.
And I'm Mackenzie Dinas. The Army confirmed the death of 25-year-old Sergeant Sean Covington. Police responded to Annenberg Park Saturday morning where they found Covington dead in his vehicle with an apparent gunshot wound. The Riley County Police Department is investigating Covington's death, but they have confirmed that no foul play is suspected.
Daylight savings time officially began last week. That means an hour less of sleep and a bit of a tired start to our mornings. We know the symptoms that we feel in adjusting to a time change, but did you know that your pets can be affected too? Channel 8 News reporter Katie Johnson tells us more.
Animals are normally in tune with their own circadian rhythm or internal clock, but living with humans causes them to adapt their schedules to fit ours. Susan Nelson, veterinarian and clinical associate professor at K-State, says that when our schedules change, so do our pets.
When we have the change in the time, they might be a little surprised that they're going to get fed earlier than normal. In the fall, they might get a little upset that they're not getting fed on time because we want to sleep our extra hour. And so it can be disruptive for them.
Nelson says that one way to ease that transition, both in the spring and the fall, is to start a week or two ahead of time and gradually adjust your pet's schedule, easing them into it.
They obviously can't read the clock and tell the time, but they innately, they know what time it is. They know those patterns and they can sense that. There's a lot of us who don't even have to rely on alarm clocks because our dogs will get us up in time. But when we have those changes, that can be a little bit of an issue.
Ultimately, our pets are creatures of habit, and so any alteration in their schedule can be difficult. But teaching flexibility, especially in young puppies, can help.
This time next year, Kansans and their pets may no longer be disturbed with the annual change of time. Senate Bill 282 would exempt the Sunflower State from participating in daylight savings time, doing away with springing clocks forward every March and falling back an hour each November. If Bill 282 is passed, Kansans will turn back their clock back to standard time for the very last time in November of 2016.
The Konza Prairie Trail is a public favorite when it comes to scenic hiking. According to park officials, the nature trails that the community has come to love may be closing if hikers don't start treating the Konza with care. The native tall grass prairie is owned and preserved by the Nature Conservancy and Kansas State University. Most of the Konza Prairie is off limits to the public due to biological research. However, the nature trails are open to the public for now. Park officials urge hikers to remain on designated trails and refrain from polluting the landscape to keep the Konza clean and hikers happy.
Members of the Manhattan community gathered for a meeting on March 10th to discuss the current ordinance for civil rights. The Human Rights and Services Advisory Board presented amendments to the ordinance, which was previously rejected in 2011. The goal of the meeting was to initiate the amendment to protect against discrimination of sexual orientation or gender identity in employment, housing, and public accommodations. This means the city will have to investigate and enforce consequences of all results of discrimination.
Currently, there is no way for any member of Manhattan to actually report if they've been discriminated against on either sexual orientation or gender identity. That's why we think it's very important to get this into our current ordinance.
The recently elected student body president at K-State has plans for the future of the university. She will join us to share her ideas.
And next, Channel 8 News will sit down with Cindy Bontrager to talk about the tough financial times faced by Kansas State University in the near future. Stay tuned.
With spring weather rolling in, temperatures are a little unpredictable. Later on, I give you the 5-day forecast so you can plan for your week ahead. So stay with us on Channel 8 News.
Land Grant University, entrusted with serving the needs of our communities and world through the nation's most important research and testing. We don't cater to what's popular. We come together to find out what's next, what will save lives and better the world. Since 1863, our values haven't changed, but our methods have. What defines a land-grant university? Community, progress, you.
I'm Ngọc Trân from Đà Lạt, Vietnam.
I'm Raphael from St. Mary's, Kansas.
Mình nói cả tiếng Việt và tiếng Anh.
I only speak one language, unless you count Pig Latin. Oh, you don't? Okay, one language.
I'm new to K-State and want to experience everything I can in Manhattan.
I'm hungry. Do you want to go eat some ice cream?
Sure.
Become an international buddy today and develop new friendships and experience different cultures.
How do you say Wabash in your language?
What's a Wabash?
Unfortunately, Cindy is unable to be with us today.
However, we do have Gretchen Conan, a member of the K-State equestrian team. She will go ahead and talk to us about their final home meet ever.
Well, I'm here with Gretchen Conan, and you're from the K-State equestrian team, and thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, of course.
You know, I was out there last Saturday. I know that K-State is dropping the equestrian program, and that was your final home meet at Timber Creek Stables, right?
That's correct. Yeah, it was the final one, an end to an era, that's for sure.
How did it go? What was the mood like?
The mood was actually everyone was pretty excited about it, even though it is sad that the program is coming to an end. I think most of the team members and coaches just kind of tried to think about it as like a celebration of everything that we've accomplished, and we took it as that. So the mood was really positive. We had a great time. It was wonderful. Just getting to enjoy that last ride with our horses and our friends. So,
and what's coming up next for the team? I know that a lot of parents were saying, okay, you might have lost this one meet, but there's more coming your way. So what's that?
Yeah, so we actually head on the road tomorrow to Stillwater, Oklahoma for our Big 12 tournament. So we face Baylor. We're ranked number 3. Baylor's ranked number 2. So we face them in the first round, and then the following day we will hopefully be in the championship round, but if not, we would play in the kind of consecutive bracket for the 3 and 4 spot. But yeah, we have that coming up, and then in 2 weeks we head down to Waco, Texas for the national championship. So.
And how do you feel?
Good. We feel good. Yeah, we're really ready. Postseason's always a really fun time to just kind of enjoy it, really push the limits, and give it all you got. So yeah, we're excited.
And coming up later on in the newscast, we're going to have a story on the whole final meet, and we got to speak to some of the parents and their feelings about the program. So, stay tuned. Back to you at the anchor's desk.
Yeah.
In the midst of the national presidential races, Kansas State University held their very own student body presidential race.
And the results are in. This year, a new president will be taking over the student body presidential chair. Jessica Van Rankin becomes only the 6th female to sit in the SGA presidential chair at K-State. The student body election saw an increase in voter turnout compared to the last 2 years. Van Rankin and her running mate Trenton Kennedy won 56.5% of the overall votes. Van Rankin and Kennedy campaigned on the 3 themes of mental wellness, diversity, and political advocacy.
Currently, there's no way.
Making those platforms for Jessica is really awesome, and it's so great to see a woman in power at K-State. And kids taking shots on turkey hunt on the Fort Riley Army base is something you can look forward to and what's coming up.
Plus, Channel 8 News will help gear you up for all of your spring outdoor activities.
And I will give you the inside scoop on what's mooing around K-State. All that after the break. Stay with us.
What ignites inspiration? It's sparked in every victory, every banner carried high. It's lit in traditions that bind each generation together. It's found in the people who push us to never settle and who serve those without a voice. It's iconic. It's groundbreaking. It's a new generation of world changers and answer seekers. What ignites inspiration? Tradition, passion, you.
Hi, I'm Tunde from Lagos, Nigeria.
And I'm Ronnie from Spring Hill, Kansas.
During festivals, I wear my kaftan.
On K-State game days, I wear purple and a foam finger.
I've never been to an American football game.
I've never been out of this country. You want to go tailgating this weekend?
Sure.
Become an international buddy today and develop new friendships and experience different cultures.
Would you happen to have a purple kaftan?
Only for game days.
Powerful ideas are sparked by a natural curiosity. It could begin with a single seed or a brilliant ray of light. At Kansas State University, it begins with research that advances the world, where science and creativity meet. At Kansas State University, powerful ideas begin with you.
With spring in full swing, flowers are not the only thing growing this season.
That's right. The Department of Animal Sciences here at Kansas State University work to improve the growing relationship between animals and students. Reporter Catherine Curtis and myself headed to the Kansas State Farm over spring break to see what all is blooming.
At the horse unit, dogs are not the only animal with the title man's best friend. The Department of Animal Sciences and Industry uses the extraordinary bond between horse and man.
Whether you just like to pet them or you just like the way they smell, they're great because they are very in tune with human emotion. As soon as you start working on your improvements, they will improve in their interaction with you as well.
The Professional Association of Therapeutic Horsemanship are using the horses in therapeutic settings for people looking for an alternative tool and treatment.
Horse therapy entails a lot of different things. It works on physical benefits, emotional benefits, cognitive benefits. It has so many benefits, and that's why it is so therapeutic.
Horse therapy can help those in numerous walks of life. I took to the saddle and experienced what a therapy session would be like on horseback.
Those who are dealing with stress, those who want to do team building with a company, those who maybe came back from, overseas and they're dealing with some post-traumatic stress. It can get down to even joint disorders and spinal issues, emotional issues, or has anger management problems, autism, ADHD, you name it. You can work with the horse with that.
While I'm over here horsing around, Mackenzie's at the dairy barn. Mackenzie, how's it going over there?
Thanks, Catherine. My name's Mackenzie Dynas, and I'm here with Molly Mason, and she's going to show me around K-State's dairy farm.
Let's go feed the babies.
All right, let's do it.
We feed them about 3 times a day. We'll feed them at 6 a.m., 3 p.m., and 11 p.m.
Cool. So, Molly, what are the other tasks that you do here as, is this your job?
Yeah, every day I'll come in at 1 p.m. And collect all their buckets and weigh them back and then give them fresh grain. And then at 3 p.m. we'll feed them all bottles.
Cool. Do you name them?
Just numbers. Some of them we'll name between the workers, but unless we'll just give them numbers.
What is your highest calving season?
Definitely the summer.
The summer?
Mm-hmm. But we're always calving year round. But yeah, summer is definitely when we have the most babies.
Well, I think we're out. I think feeding time's over. Time to move on?
Yep.
All right, let's check it out. After each feeding, the workers sanitize the bottles and set them out on the table, ready to be used again. The pasteurizer eliminates all bacteria that may be in milk. 15% of the milk from the dairy unit is used across K-State's campus, and the remainder of the milk is transported to Wichita. K-State's dairy unit houses approximately 200 cows plus calves. Students like Molly have an opportunity for hands-on experience at the unit, and graduate students get to conduct research work regarding dairy nutrition, housing, and management. The next time you have a glass of milk from one of K-State's dining centers, you know where it came from. Now the next time you drink a glass of milk from one of K-State's dining centers, you'll know where it comes from. Yep.
Manhattan youth can take a shot at turkey hunting on the Fort Riley Army Base. Fort Riley Outdoorsman Group will host their annual spring turkey hunting workshop for youth ages 9 to 15 on April 2nd and 3rd. No hunting experience is needed. However, Fort Riley does encourage youth to bring their personal guns, gear, and Unit 3 turkey permit. The hunt is designed to help youth learn to safely hunt and clean their own turkey. The deadline to register for the spring youth turkey hunt is Friday, March 25th. If you'd like to sign up for the hunt or want more information, email the Fort Riley Outdoorsman Group at the bottom of your screen.
Students and faculty can take some time out of their busy schedules this spring to enjoy the great outdoors. The Outdoor Rental Center at the K-State Recreational Complex opened for the season on March 8th. The center allows anyone with a K-State ID to check out a large variety of equipment. Canoes, kayaks, tents, hammocks, life jackets, and sleeping bags are just some of the items available for rent. Along with a valid university ID, a rental fee is required. Employees at the facility say the equipment has already been broken in for the season, with lots of groups checking out of canoes and hitting the water at Tuttle Creek Lake.
With the Outdoor Center opening for the season, it seems like the warmer weather is finally rolling in.
Clarissa, what about those of us who need to do a little spring cleaning? Will we be able to get outside this weekend?
Well, Mackenzie, with spring cleaning, it's out with the old and in with the new. And for weather, it's out with the snow and in with a little bit of sun. Yes, that's right. Spring has sprung. And as you can see from our national temperature map, the temperatures are trying to increase. And 54 degrees in Seattle, a little bit lower. But if you move down south, we have warmer weather with 72 degrees in LA, 78 in Albuquerque, 61 in Miami, and then a little more up north, it's back to those cooler weather with Boston at 49 degrees. But if we go into our actual weather of the nation, we got some rain in Seattle, so you need rain for some spring flowers. And then we have some partly cloudy, so there's still sun peeking through. Don't worry, spring is still here. And we got a little bit of cooler weather still up in Boston. So if we go into our Kansas State map, you can see that our temperature is about 60 degrees. Those temperatures aren't as fire, but Kansas is in a fire weather warning. And I will kick it over to you guys back at the news desk.
There's been a lot of sports action all around the Midwest. Coming up, sports reporter Mitch May will talk all of things sports.
And K-State is saying goodbye to one of its oldest sports teams. Keep it here on Channel 8 News.
I'm Kathleen from Meiningen, Germany.
I'm Ginger from Overland Park, Kansas.
I've traveled to London and saw the Parliament, studied in Mexico City, spent the summer in Austria, went skiing in the Alps. Oh, and I visited the Eiffel Tower in Paris.
Well, I've been to the world's largest ball of twine.
Can we go?
Of course!
Become an international buddy today and develop new friendships and experience different cultures.
Up next, the world's deepest hand-dug well.
Is it near the Grand Canyon?
Kenya, Africa. A baby elephant is trapped in a waterhole. Researchers rush to the rescue, and a 400-pound baby elephant and its agitated, dangerous mother are finally reunited. One of those researchers is K-State alumnus Mark Sowers. While at K-State, he used telemetry to study bison on the Konza Prairie Biological Station, a skill he now uses to study and help elephants, his lifelong dream. That's the Wildcat Way.
I am an artist.
I'm an explorer.
A parent.
Working full-time.
I am the future.
I'm finishing my bachelor's degree.
Getting my master's.
Becoming professionally certified.
I'm a student.
I'm on my way.
And I am global.
Kansas State University's Global Campus is your connection to learn online, develop professionally, and connect globally. Go online for more information about K-State's Global Campus.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. Mackenzie, were you able to keep up with all the K-State sports teams over break?
I was unable to keep up with all of my teams, but luckily enough, we have our sports reporter, Mitch May, with us. with all the rundown of all things sports. Mitch?
Thanks, Brennan and Mackenzie. They say all good things must come to an end, and that was certainly true for one of K-State's longest-standing teams as they celebrate an end to an era. After 16 years, the K-State women's equestrian team hosted their final home meet, not just for the season, but indefinitely. K-State's Kenya Mills joined the team at Timber Creek Stables and talked with the team's biggest fans about what this unique program has meant to the athletes over the years.
After 16 years, the K-State equestrian program is reaching the end of the trail. Their final home meet took place on March 12 at K-State's Timber Creek Stables. The event proved emotionally challenging to their biggest fans, their families.
You know, I'm trying to be positive because they still got two very, very big meets ahead of them. But it's sad, and like I told the girls, go out and have fun, enjoy it.
The team received the news fall of 2014. K-State is cutting the equestrian program because, according to the athletics department, they had not seen the growth that was anticipated, making the future of the sport uncertain.
We had made plans for the next 4 years, and 2 years in, it seemed like the bomb was dropped and there wasn't a lot of thought that went into it.
Over the years, the K-State equestrians experienced a good deal of success. According to K-State Sports, the program earned 9 national titles and made the most appearances at Big 12 and national championships of any K-State athletic team. Just a few short weeks after K-State announced its dropping of the sport, the equestrian team rose to number 2 in national rankings, the second highest national ranking by any team in K-State sports history.
They have done a great job this whole year of being very forward focused, and they realize that today it may be the last home show, but it's not the end of the season.
The Wildcats lost their final home meet to Auburn with a final score of 9-10. Despite the loss, the team remains undeterred.
My teammates are something special. I'm really happy with how the meet went. It would have been wonderful if we won, but we held our own against the #1 ranked team right now, and I'm really proud about that. All of the girls did amazing.
This was also their final goodbye to the stables they call home. In Manhattan, Kenya Mills, Channel 8 News.
As the #7 Wildcats close out the regular season, their postseason is just beginning. K-State equestrians are packing their bags and heading to Stillwater, Oklahoma. The 3rd seed Cats will be taking on Baylor in the first round of the Big 12 tournament. Later in April, they head over to Waco for the national championship. K-State women's basketball went dancing for the first time in 4 years, and boy, did they have something to prove. The first round of the tournament for K-State was against number 8 seed George Washington, who kept with the Lady Cats in a blow-for-blow battle throughout the first half. But you can't just win games only scoring points. Kaylee Page reminds us with this monster block right here in the 3rd quarter, hoping to give Lady Cats a little bit of fire. And let's just say it worked, or at least for number 15, Megan Dynas, who put together an impressive late-game showing. With the help of some stellar defense by the Lady Cats and a little bit of hustle, Dynas totaled 14 points and earned leading scorer. Lady Cats end with some clutch free throws from senior Bree Craig and finishing touch by sophomore Shaylin Martin. A great win for K-State earned the 2nd round meeting with top-ranked South Carolina on their home court. Despite South Carolina only having 1 loss on their record, Brianna Lewis showed no fear taking on the SC front court in multiple one-on-one matchups. A few added heads-up plays like this one here by Kindred Wiesman kept points on the board for the Lady Cats, but South Carolina proved a little bit too much to handle and ended K-State's season 73-47. Plenty of baseball action over the weekend as well. The Bat Cats head into a 3-game series with Western Carolina, hoping to improve their 11-6 record here at home. The Cats started off a little slow in the series, dropping the first 2 games 7-5 and 6-2. The bleeding would just not stop. K-State let West Carolina get off to a 7-0 start by the end of the 3rd inning in the 3rd game. But the Cats still wanted to play some baseball. Number 7, Tyler Wolf, pops one in to shallow center field, loading the bases. Unfortunately, no runs come to the play. Down the road in the 8th inning, Cats still down by 10 at this point. Matt Nertz shoots one over the head of the second baseman and drives 2 runs in for the Cats and gets them on the board for the first time and only time in the game. The Cats go winless with the signs of the series with a score of 10-2 West Carolina. If you're looking for something to do this weekend, there'll be plenty more sports action for the Wildcats happening around the Midwest. The baseball team has a busy week as they head to Omaha Tuesday face Creighton Blue Jays here at 6:30 p.m. They'll be back in Toyton Family Stadium to kick off the Big 12 play as they face Oklahoma State in a 3-day series beginning Thursday. And that's all. Back to the desk.
Join Channel 8 News online for more updates on news coverage for Manhattan and the Flint Hills.
News will be right back.
I'm a dog person.
I'm a sports fan.
An artist.
Working full-time.
I am the future.
I am finishing my bachelor's degree.
Getting my master's.
Becoming professionally certified. I'm a student.
I'm on my way.
And I am global.
Kansas State University's global campus is your connection to learn online, develop professionally, and connect globally. Go online for more information about K-State's global campus.
Land Grant University, entrusted with serving the needs of our communities and world through the nation's most important research and testing. We don't cater to what's popular. We come together to find out what's next, what will save lives and better the world. Since 1863, our values haven't changed, but our methods have. What defines a land-grant university? Community, progress, you.
Okay, we're doing final. Step into the Ruth Ann Weefald Gallery at the Mariana Kistler Beach Museum of Art and take a journey through the Great Plains. Beneath the Prairie Sky is a new exhibit at the Beach Museum. This year, the exhibit chose to exhibit National Geographic photographer and Kansas native Jim Richardson. His photographs highlight life in the Great Plains and include snapshots from the Flint Hills area. Richardson photography has taken him across the world. However, his passion for exploring natural landscapes is rooted right here in Kansas. According to Richardson, the photographs on display reflect exhilarating wonder and 50 years of soul searching. The exhibit is open through June 26th.
Well, for our 5-day forecast coming up for this week, we do have some pretty good weather. A little windy out there, though, about 20 to 30 miles per hour. So Kansas is in a fire weather warning. So if you are a farmer out there, make sure that whenever you start your fire, you have it contained. And if you are traveling, you can expect some travel delays if that fire does come uncontained. But other than that, it's pretty sunny, except Sunday we will expect some rain, so bring your umbrella when you go Easter egg hunting.
Thanks, Clarissa, for that update. I'm actually live on a farm, so I'll make sure to pass it on to my dad. Now, do you feel like your story needs to be heard? We would love to hear it. Just log on to our Channel 8 News Facebook page and submit your story ideas. You can always keep up with our news coverage around the community by following #Channel 8 News KSU on Twitter.